गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः. Ajji has said the topic is prayers. And a lot of temple going people are here, so don't confuse them with your Vedanta. So the warning has been given. So let's see, what does prayer mean? What does prayer mean? I'm asking before I start speaking. What does prayer mean to you? Connecting to God. Good. Amma, Aji? I don't know. Anyone there at the back? What does prayer mean to you? One word, one line, it's okay.
Connection.
Connection? Okay. Anyone else? Huh?
Prayer is surrender.
Prayer is surrender. Amma?
I find peace with the prayer.
With the prayer, she finds peace. All these. So prayer is a way to connect to the higher. And it can be done in many different ways, and we'll see the technology behind it, and we'll see what are the different types of prayers and how in Sanatan Dharma, from morning till night, the various prayers are given by way of which we connect to the higher, by which we connect to the divine. And as a result, what happens is that throughout the day, our mind is immersed in the divine thoughts. Whether it be objective or subjective doesn't matter. But it is immersed. It is continuously remembering for example, we get up in the morning, what do we say? Karagre vasate Lakshmi, Karamule Saraswati, Karamadhye tu Govinda, Prabhate Karadarshanam. Isn't it? It's a prayer. So all the gods, we see them in the palm of our hands. And with that we begin our day. This is even before brushing our teeth. This is, you get up, the moment eyes open, you sit up in the bed, and this is what you do. Prayer. Karagre vasate. So you invoked Lakshmi, you invoked Saraswati, you invoked the Krishna, and we are offering our mind to him straight away. Otherwise, normally what do we do when we wake up? Well, we wake up late. Why? We know the alarm has gone once, twice, thrice, and then instead of Karagre Vasate Lakshmi, oh, I have to catch the train, I hope I don't miss it. That is the train of thoughts that is going on in your mind. See? Then the moment you get out of the bed, before you touch the earth, Prithvi Taya Dhrita Loka, the mantra of the earth, that now I am going to step on you, O Mother Earth. Please bear me. and excuse me for this act. See? And then you take shower. What prayer do you do there? Nice water. Little bit more hot, little bit. No. Ganga cha Yamuna chaiva Godavari Saraswati Narmade Sindhu Kaveri Jalesmin Sannidhim Kuru. Again and again chant this. Why you want to chant? Say, keep thinking about something, or keep listening to the news, or keep listening to this song of Madonna or whoever is going on nowadays. I don't know. This is prayer. So in our Sanatan Dharma, every act of our daily life is interspersed with prayers. After doing that, you come to the Lord, you light the lamp, na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam. After that, you do your sandhya, for that there are mantras. If you look at the sun and offer the arghya, for that there are mantras. Before you get out of the house, you offer the whole day at the feet of the Lord. Lord, let thy will prevail, not my will prevail. And you go out. And then you come back. Whole day you do what has to be done. But when you come back, if you have forgotten, and in between you have taken the ownership that I did everything, again you come back, I forgot. Whatever, please excuse me for taking ownership. Wherever I did, I offer it back to you. See? And this way, in and through our daily life, the prayers have a significance. We will think, our mind will continuously keep thinking about something. Might as well it think about the Lord. We think that we need mantras. What these mantras I just chanted, maybe you have heard them, maybe you have not heard them. Oh my God, Sanskrit, it is very difficult. Don't worry. Your Murugan devotees, your Shiva devotees, your Krishna devotees, you take his name. That is also a mantra. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. So, Karagre Vasati, you don't know. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. See him in your palms. See him in the earth. That is what Rudram tells us. What does Rudram tell us? That everything in this creation is nothing but the Lord Shiva. So earth is Lord Shiva, the space, air, fire, water, earth, everything is Lord Shiva. See? Or Krishna, or Devi. So the shlokas should not become an excuse not to remember the divine, the higher. Now, why is it important that we must remember the higher or the divine? Why? Tell someone. Why is it important to remember the higher? I don't know. Yes, Amma.
So we feel ourselves humble.
You feel yourself humble. Okay, very good. So you recognize that there is some higher hand managing the whole universe. I am only a teeny weeny speck in this creation, and be grateful to him and be humble. And you get humbled that he has provided everything without my asking. Very good. Anyone else? Why do we need to remember the higher?
That is our aim and end of life.
Huh?
That is our aim and end of life.
That is our aim and that is our end of life. Okay, that is also good. Aim and end of life is remembering the higher, not objectively,
Yes.
but by taking the name of Om Namah Shivaya, for example, it must precipitate peace in our heart and mind. If that peace and contentment has not happened in our heart and mind, then just taking the name mechanically is not going to do anything. As kids, what we used to do when we used to go to the temple? We used to take shower quickly. Why? because we know, "Oi, time ho gaya, Aarti is," and the temple was right next to our flat in Delhi. And Ghanti, we know at what time now the sound of the bell is going to go very fast, we know it's going to conclude. Run down and prasad. Run down and prasad. Even younger, when we were, this is when I was in year 11, 12, even younger, when we were, Hanuman Chalisa, in India, you know, everywhere there are temples. So there used to be Hanuman Chalisa in the evening, they will chant. And the moment the Shatabar Patha Kare Koi Shuru Ho Gaya, we are only living close by. The moment we hear that, we will not attend the whole Hanuman Chalisa. We are going there for what? Prasad, bundi. See? Because that bundi, you all know, you all practice that and you have experienced it also, that you never say prasad is good or bad, isn't it? Prasad is never good and bad. Whether there is less salt or more sugar, you just take it as prasad and you feel blessed by what you have taken. This is what prayer does. We are recognizing, remembering, being available to the prasad called this life that the Lord has given us day in and day out. And when we do the prayers slowly over the days, over the years. See, Amma, is this the first satsang in your house? See? I just one fluke, it hit. First satsang in the house. But Ajji is devoted, she is devoted, but she did Tirtha Yatra with me in 19, isn't it? Or 20, 22, 21, 22. She came to South India. She must have visited so many temples that she's forgotten everything now because she must be all confused. Which god was where? So many places we went. But that association with temples, with that association with various pujas, that association with mother, that association with Swami has eventually brought a point where satsang has entered into our house. It's not a small thing. Exactly like this. Took some time. I was waiting 3 years. She used to say, Swamiji, I want to call you. I want to call you. But it never, this time it happened. But waiting is also sweet, you know. And when it happens, you really enjoy. Chalo. So same way, when we are doing the prayers, we don't know when. It was a surprise when she SMS'd me, Swamiji, I want to. So, waiting. Who is waiting? Who is the epitome of waiting? Nandi Maharaj. You know Nandi? Always waiting in front of Lord Shiva. Always waiting. In silence, waiting for Bhagwan to come and give darshan. When we do prayers, it is this waiting that one day, some moment, the Lord will come and bless not only me, my family, my children and everyone. It should not be done mechanically. Mechanically is what? Like we were kids, go for the prasad and come out. But that has built up the momentum ki, yeah, it is beautiful. And slowly it made me into a sannyasi, just that prasad. So if you don't want to be a sannyasi, don't take prasad. Joking, take prasad. But when we go into the temple, now watch another aspect of the prayer. You all go to the temple? Good. All of you do archana?
Yes.
Correct? Who does the archana? The priest.
Priest.
How many times do you do Vishnu Sahasranam, Subramanyam Sahasranam, or Shiva Sahasranam? Isn't it? When you do give the money and give the coconut to him, he says, Om Shivaya Namah, throwing the flowers. Take quickly. Now, over the years, so many times he has taken the name of the Lord. Any improvement? Any improvement, or he's still the same? Because he's doing it as a profession. Same priest by the name of Ramakrishna Paramahams, he took the name of the Devi, and while doing just the Aarti, forget even the 108 names, just by doing the Aarti, while doing the Aarti, he used to go into Samadhi. That attitude, imagine what his disposition must be, what his connection to the goddess must be. You all talked about connection just now. So are we connected to God only by word or by heart and mind? So when we are seeing the Devi or seeing the Lord Shiva in the temple, are we seeing him? Are we connected to him? Are we surrendered to him? Are we feeling at one ment with him? Or just superficially, I went to the temple, you go there, nice clothes, or nice ornaments, nice flowers, and how much kilos this gold necklace you are wearing? That is where our attention is, on someone else. So we go dressed up for the Lord, but initially that is the intention. But after going there, we forget. We start saying, where did you buy this sari? This looks like silk. Is it real or artificial? Don't do it superficially. Let it be, whenever you go there, it is your communion. I'm using that word purposely. It is your communion with the Lord. It is your either you can use the word attunement with the Lord through the names of the Lord, or it is at one ment with the Lord whenever you take the name of the Lord. Even one name is enough. Om Namah Shivaya. Take it in such fervor, take it with such love, take it with such surrender that you vanish before the mantra is complete. Don't turn yourself into another priest, taking the mantras again and again and nothing happening. One mantra is enough to dissolve ourselves if we are available. That is the power of prayer. One story is this. You all have heard it. You know the story of Dhruva? Have you heard? Appa, Amma, Piche at the back. You heard of story of Dhruva? Dhruva was a young king, a young boy. I'm not going to go into the whole story, but what he did. And he wanted to sit in the lap of his father, and the father first wife's son is this Dhruva, and he married another princess, Suruchi, and that stepmother, the younger mother, she said that you cannot sit on your dad's lap, only my son. If you want to sit on the dad's lap, you have to take birth from my womb. He says, but how? Young fellow, but very intelligent. He says, he started thinking, but I'm already born, how will I be born again? So he comes back to his mother and he says to the mother, Mom, this is what the other mother said, what do I do? She says, yes, you are already born, you cannot be born again you can only when this body goes away, once the death happens, you make the prayer that I should be born, but now you are already here, so what is the other solution? So there, the mother of Dhruva she was devotee of Lord Narayana. She says, pray to Narayana. He can only answer this question. He can only give you solutions for that. And he kept thinking, and he says, but where will I find Lord Narayana? Where will I find him here? And in the middle of the night, he got up and walked out of the palace in search of Lord Narayana. What is the intention? In search of Lord Narayana. With no fear, full commitment. And the moment a devotee becomes available to the Lord starts helping the devotee to come towards him. Rule number 1. We are available only to our children, only to our husband, only to our wife, only to our nears and dears, only to our colleagues, only to our investments, only to our business, only to our house, only to our cars. We are not available to the Lord. The moment you become available to the Lord, this young boy was going and fully decked with all the ornaments and princely clothes and everything in the middle of the night. Narad Muni, you heard of Narad Muni? Narad Muni comes. He says, son, where are you going? No, I am going in search of Lord Narayana. My mother said only he can help me sit on my dad's lap. Acha? Narad Muni is a Trikaldarshi, he knows everything. So he says, this fellow is very committed, so let me help him. He says, if you go like this, there will be thieves and dacoits. They will steal, kill, they will do anything. So best you take all these ornaments off. He immediately threw it off. He says, but this is also not enough. If they see that you are wearing princely clothes, they will kidnap you and they will ask ransom for your father. So what do I do? He said, here, I give you yellow clothes. And immediately he takes off and puts on the cotton wear yellow clothes. And he says, now you have told me this, now what do I do? Where will I find? Where will you go and find Narayana? He says, I don't know, but I'm going. I'll find him somewhere. He says, if you don't know where you are going, then because he's helping him, the young boy asks him that, can you tell me where can I go? Where can I find him? You seem to know so many things. 7-year-old is telling, what? 5-year-old. It doesn't matter. So he says, yeah, I can tell you. I can tell you the way also to make Narayana come to you rather than you go to him. He says, how? He says, you go, see that jungle, go there, find a tree, under the tree, sit, eat the fruits and roots that are available and keep chanting the Lord's name. And what is the mantra he gives him? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. He says, keep chanting this name and Lord will come and give you the prasad of his vision, or he will come himself to bless you. He says, Acha, what else? That's all I have to do. No. You have to chant. And with full surrender, devotion and availability. He said, okay. And he went. And as he started, now it is natural when he is eating fruits and he is eating roots and chanting the mantra, every now and then, twice a day, thrice a day, he has to go to the loo, he has to go for shishi, shushu. And he started finding that this is a disturbance in his prayer. And he started saying, okay, I am not going to go for shishi, shushu, which means I have to reduce the number of times that I am getting disturbed. So he stopped eating fruits and roots. He started eating leaves that were lying around him. And only little bit, after you take that leaf with dust and everything, how much can you eat? One chew and then over. Then he stopped drinking water also. Because for water he has to get up and go to the river and drink it and come, then again go to the loo, etc. All this, as he is building up his commitment to the Lord, as his prayer is becoming, what do you call, more and more fervent, his involvement in food, in drink is becoming less and less. And a feeling is coming that I don't want to move from this place. My prayer to my Lord must be continuous without a break. And he starts doing it. And these are the things that will happen to you also if you do it. I'm not talking about food or not. As he's taking the name of the Lord, it reaches such a point within him that he starts seeing every now and then Lord Narayana. Who is Lord Narayana? Shankha Chakra Gada Padma. You have seen Lord Narayana, the Chaturbhuj Narayan. So he comes he says, he looks at him and he feels that the Lord has come and appeared in front of him, opens his eyes and nobody is there. And nobody is there. He says, oh my God, Lord tricked me. Or that young boy did not understand that the mind is tricking. He said, Lord tricked me. He came and he did, there's nothing here. When I opened my eyes, now he has to start all over again. All that concentration, all that focus, all that surrender and meditation, all gone. Again he has to start. Again he starts. Second time also same thing happens. After a few weeks, a few days. Again, he says, even with more commitment this time he dives into taking the name of the Lord. And as he is taking, third time again the Lord appears. And when the Lord appears, he says, this time I am not going to be tricked. I am not going to open my eyes. Lord said, Arey. Now this time really the Lord had come in front of him. And he's saying, I am here waiting and this fellow is not opening his eyes. He says, no, you have tricked me 2 times, this time again, you show me that you are real. And the Lord touches his conch to his cheek. And the moment he touches, while slowly opening his eyes and seeing the Lord, before he opens his eyes completely, this prayer comes out of his mouth. Om yontah pravishya vacham imam prasuptam sanjeevayatya kila shakti dharaswadhamnam anyascha hastacharana shravanatvagaadin pranan namo bhagavate purushaya tubhyam pranan namo bhagavate purushaya tubhyam. In short, that you are expressing through my eyes, through my senses, through my hands, my whole being is nothing but your expression. And with that, Om Yonta Pravishya, you have entered into me. Pravishya means to enter. And you alone are expressing just by touching, because what is conch represent? Conch represents the sound element. When the breeze is passing, the conch automatically makes the Om sound. And that sound then becomes the vowels and consonants. Those vowels and consonants then combine to become words. Those words combine to become shlokas or mantras or sutras or whatever. So, Om Yonta Praveshama, just by touching the conch. And the child opens his eyes. And when he opens his eyes, he sees the beauty of the Lord. But small child, no? The Lord says, child, tell me, what do you want? He has this acumen. His mind has matured to this extent that because of the touch of the Lord, he says, Lord, you know what I want. You know everything. So you give. Lord knows this child has come with the desire to sit in the lap of the Father. Who is the ultimate Father? The Lord himself. So he says, go, I give you the position of ध्रुव तारा जो होता है ना, उसको इंग्लिश में क्या बोलते हैं पता नहीं.
Pole star.
Pole star. North star or pole star? Pole star. Not the southern star. Pole star is in the north hemisphere. In southern hemisphere is the southern star. So pole star. So that is seen even after the sun comes out in the morning. And that, so he gives him that position. Now, important point here through this story. What is that? And he says, go. Now, after seeing Lord, nothing wrong is going to happen in your life. Only auspiciousness will be there. He comes back. The father recognizes the greatness of Dhruva. He becomes Dhruva Maharaj. And eventually the father passes away. This younger brother, the whole kingdom chooses Dhruv to be the next king, and his younger brother also accepts the greatness of his elder brother. And naturally, as a king, he says, you will rule for, Bhagwan said, you will rule for many, many years. And eventually, when you have done whatever is required to be done on this earth, then you will attain to that permanent position. And in the meantime, what happened? This younger, uska naam kya tha? Uttam, younger brother was Uttam. And he was the chief of the army staff. So he used to go and spread the kingdom far and wide on this earth. And in one of those, what do you call, adventures, the tribals kill him, or he gets killed by the tribals. And Dhruv, he loves his brother so much that he goes and starts killing all the tribals. At that time, we are talking about, as a result of prayers, Bhagwan has appeared in front of him. Having blessed by Bhagwan, still he is committing such atrocities. At that time, when he is killing without discrimination all the people, the tribal people who were instrumental in the death of his brother, that time Narad Muni comes and says, "Oh Dhruv, the whole world knows that you are a devotee of a Lord. Does it look good for a devotee of a Lord to kill indiscriminately? It is right to give punishment to the one who killed your brother. But all the innocent tribals you are killing?" And the moment he hears these words, at that very moment, he withdraws, pardons everyone, hands over the kingdom to his son, and goes into meditation. Prayer. So prayer must not be objective. Is the Lord in the temple? Now, Swami, don't go more. Is the Lord in the temple? Or is the Lord in the heart? Or is the Lord everywhere? Tell.
Everything.
Then why you go to temple? Then why you go to temple if he is everywhere? He is here also. Why you have to go to temple? घर में मजा नहीं आता. मजा नहीं आता मतलब I don't enjoy praying at home by myself all the time. When I go to temple, collective. Like one child asked me in the class, why we have to go to temple, Swamiji? God is at home also. So parents always say, children, come on, let's go to the temple. For that they have to shower, they have to wear fresh clothes. Then they have to go to the temple. And nowadays kids are a bit anti all this for whatever reasons. What are they taught in school? I don't know. So parents were at their wits' end. Swamiji, you explain what should I tell this fellow or this girl why we should go to the temple? Because there is God there. I said, no, he's right. God is everywhere. So I took that fellow into the room. I said, you enjoy music? He said, yeah, you're teenage or youth, college going. I said, you enjoy music? Yeah. You go to discotheque? I used to go when I was young, He said, yeah, I go. What do you do in disco? Shake and move and music and loud music and very fun. But you got music at home, why you have to go there? He said, because you don't understand, Swamiji, the environment. I said, exactly the same way. The environment in the temple is different because there is collective there. All the people, loud bell. You in the home, ting, 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 ting. There, dong, dong, dong. Here only you are hearing your voice. There, the priest is chanting away. Other people are chanting their mantras. People are sitting in meditation. People are doing namaskaram to the various gods in the temple. Each one you can see different flavors of prayers or their devotion towards the Lord. It's so, you get carried away by a whole thing and you also end up doing something or the other what others are doing. I remember how we used to do it. We try, those mantras are going on, even if the Rudram is going on or the small Aarti is going on. As a child you don't know the Aarti, but because you go to the temple again and again and it's happening in the collective, you slowly articulate and before you know, you remember the whole Aarti. That's how we learned it. Nobody gave us on a piece of paper to remember it. He said, yeah. He's ready. He's coming to the temple. Prayer. So, temple is good. Tirth Yatra is good. Tirth Yatra, pilgrimage is good. There also, when you have not come, but to charge, she has come with me. And when we go to the Vaishno Devi or Kedarnath or Ganga Ji or Yamuna Ji, throughout the journey, especially Vaishno Devi, Gangotri and Yamunotri, the people are walking. People are carrying their children on their shoulder. You will find elderly ladies with leg, with no leg, they're crippled, they have a stick and they are climbing away. Jor se bolo, Jai Mata Di, Sare bolo, Jai Mata Di, Milke bolo, Jai Mata Di, Prem se bolo, Jai Mata Di. Chanting the name of the goddess. Hello. One Mata has come here. Chinna Mata. Look, and you are just going, walking, and as these fellows pass by you, you get carried away in that fervor and you also start screaming, जोर से बोलो, अपने आप हो जाता है. और कहाँ से एनर्जी आती है and you start walking fast. Prayer. So Lord's name has immense power in it. We must be available to it. We must be available to it. Now I'll tell one part of Bhagavatam. I don't know. Yeah, I told him we are having a discussion today with his sons. Smarter than dad. No reaction. He's matured. You have heard of Srimad Bhagavatam? All of you? Yeah? Bhagavatam is the story of the devotees of the Lord Narayana. And in that, towards the end, one story comes of, not story, the dialogue comes of Uddhav Maharaj. Uddhav was a cousin brother of Lord Krishna. He looked like Lord Krishna. He will wear the clothes only what Lord Krishna has worn. He used to look like him, he used to talk like him, he used to, his mannerisms were exactly like him. This Uddhav, when Krishna is lying on the, sitting under a tree where he has been hit by the arrow of the tribal fellow and he is going to finish his incarnation. That was the excuse. At that time, Uddhav comes and he says, he calls Uddhav and Uddhav says, I'm going to give you some knowledge and you please pass it on to other sages and also to our, what is his name? The Vidur Maharaj. To Vidur Maharaj. Vidur was the prime minister of Dhritarashtra, the blind king. So he says he is a very wise man. He is not able to come. He is sitting in some ashram. You go and give him this knowledge and tell him that Krishna has given this. And that will be his ticket to moksha. In other words, it is a ticket to moksha for Uddhav also. And there he says, and there he gives you 2 or 3 different techniques of how to pray. Prayer must lead to silence. Prayer must lead to first step. Before silence, I'll come to one. Prayer must lead from gross to the subtle, to the causal and beyond. You understand that? If you don't understand, our Shastras, our scriptures say that prayer is always by words, isn't it? Om Namah Shivaya, Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Vetrivel Muruganakka, Vitthala, 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 Vitthala. So it's always a word. This word, any mantra, it must be chanted loudly by your mouth. It should not be chanted in your mind. It should be chanted in your mouth. With full devotion, with full surrender, with full availability, with full bhava. And once that is done, automatically the mantra goes from the loud chanting, it goes into throat chanting. Then here, see this clear? The mantra is going on, but the Adam apple is moving. Lips are not moving. What has happened to lips? They have become silent because the mantra has matured now. It has gone inside. It's slowly going to your heart. When this also stops, the mantra goes to your heart and then goes to your navel, then goes into your kundalini and it goes up to your sahasrara, the head, and divinizes every cell in your brain. In other words, that energy, when it goes up, it divinizes your mind. Meaning, it divinizes every thought in your mind. Meaning, your mind alone projects this whole universe. Once the mind is divinized, you start seeing the whole universe as the expression of the divine. This is the power of prayer. The technical words are Vaikhari, Madhyama, Pashyanti, Para, and then absorption. So for this, now Lord Krishna is giving one particular exercise I am telling you that is given in Srimad Bhagavad. You can practice when next time you go to the temple and vanish. Meaning, vanish means give up, surrender, dissolve your individuality even while looking at the Lord in front of you in the temple. It is possible. When Mirabai can go to the Krishna in that small temple, and when the other soldiers go to find her, she's gone. There is no other door. She entered and she vanished. Her devotion was so deep and she was so much in tune with Lord Krishna that she got absorbed into Lord Krishna. That even her body was not found by the soldiers. These are not just stories. These are, recorded facts. Recorded facts. If you go to Mantralaya, we are talking in Mantralaya, Raghavendra Swami is there. Mantralaya is border of Maharashtra, Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh. That place is Mantralaya. There, Raghavendra Swami used to chant the name of the Lord. For him, Krishna was everything. And he is still alive there after so many decades. Jnaneshwar Maharaj, he was realized, he came to know his essential nature by his devotion towards his elder brother and the Lord, because his elder brother was his guru, Nivrittinath. And at age of 21, after having given lectures on Bhagavad Gita and written one or two compositions called Amrit Anubhav and etc., he decided, my job is done, because he was an incarnation of Lord Vishnu. He says, my job is done. Today, after 780 years, he is still sitting down there in Alandi. You'll say, have you seen it? I have not seen it. Then how can you say he's there? Because 300 years later, we are talking the power of prayer. After 300 years, there was one great saint by the name of Eknath Maharaj. And he had accepted Jnaneshwar Maharaj as his guru. He has never met him, but he has accepted him as his guru. And he became very adept at Ramayana and various scriptures. And one day when he was sitting in meditation, Jnaneshwar Maharaj came in his dream or in his mind. And he says, I am sitting here under this tree on the banks of the Indrayani river. You please come, because the root of the tree is choking me. This is 300 years later. He went, he dug, and he screamed, I found my guru, I found my guru. Now I am going to advertise to the whole world that I found my guru. He said, Chup. You cut the tree and trim the roots, close the whole thing again and go away. He says, no. After I found you, I'm not. How can I just leave you like this? So today the temple in Alandi, just outside Pune, 21 kilometers from Pune, that temple was built by Eknath Maharaj. And 30 feet below is Jnaneshwar Maharaj, still sitting there 780 years later. You go there, you feel the vibration, you feel the energy. Just like when you go to Tiruvannamalai, you feel the energy. You go to Kailash Mansarovar, you feel the energy. Like you go in front of the heater, band ho gaya, now you're not feeling the energy. If the heater is on, you feel the heat, isn't it? You cannot escape it. You know, heater is on. Exactly like that. When you are at these holy places, when you go in pilgrimage, it's an inexplicable experience. You are in direct touch with that vibration or energy. Either you feel it in your mind or you feel something has shifted within you. And this is the power of prayer. Sometimes even if you don't pray, just go to these holy places, your mind gets affected, it becomes quiet, it becomes prayerful, it becomes God-oriented, and you don't understand why. You go to the various saints and sages, after the studying with Anubhavananji for 2 years, myself, Radhika ji, Mataji and one more, we all went around India for 3 months and we met so many saints and sages. We used to search and we used to go and visit them, all by local bus. And lorry. We used to get the lift and we'll go. That was the biggest blessing. So many places, so many Mahatmas. That 3 months opened my eyes to the glory of what Bharat is. We have studied Sanatan Dharma, we have studied the Vedas, we have studied Shankaracharya, we have studied Vedanta, but that trip opened my eyes to the magnanimity and how it is, this Sanatan Dharma is all pervasive, allowing everything. And so many saints and sages, so many samadhis, Gondalekar Samadhi, Swami Jnaneshwar Samadhi, we went to Akkalkot Samadhi, we went to our Raghavendra Swami Samadhi, with live saints. That time whom we met was, we met Satya Sai Baba, we met Ganpati Satchidanand Swami, we went to Mallikarjun also, we went, no, there also we met one Mahatma Ji. He was so many saints who were with family, so many saints who were sannyasis. All have become saints. Why? Prayer, not mechanical. Our motivation to go to temple is what is in the cafeteria today. So 2 minutes in front of the Lord, half an hour in the cafeteria. True or not? It should be other way. When this equation starts turning around, then the saint within you, the divinity within you, the Lord within you, he starts expressing. So coming back to Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagwan says that he gives some exercises. He says chant Om, and chant Om in such a way that keep your back, neck and head in a straight line. You don't have to sit. He says you sit in Padmasan, but nowadays you sit wherever you can. And you sit straight and you chant very sharp Om you emanate from your mouth, and you should feel the vibration of that on the tip, in the fontanelle, on the top of your head. And you keep doing this. Eventually it will absorb you. And what also it is doing is that vibration, just like Brahmari, it pushes away all unwanted thoughts from your mind. But he's saying you do it with keeping me in front of you. Who is this? We are just taking one example. So if you can keep whoever your God is. So it can be Shiva, it can be, here it is Narayana, because Srimad Bhagavat is about Lord Narayana. So he is Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma, 4 hands. He is wearing yellow dhoti, he is wearing Vanamala, he is wearing Kaustubh Mani, he is wearing armbands, he is wearing Kamarband, he is wearing, he's got a Angavastra, he's got the Chakra, Sudarshan Chakra, he's got the conch, he's got the Kaumudi Gada, and he's got the lotus. So usually what happens when we become interested in God, normally we want to know more about God, isn't it? When we get interested. So who is this God? We start, okay, if we want to know more about Ram, we will read Ramayana. If we want to know more about Vishnu, we will read Vishnu Puran. If we want to know more about Shiva, we will read Shiva Puran and his stories and who his wife was, who was born first and who was born afterwards, and how did Subramaniam Swami became such a great warrior, how did Ganesha become the Prathama Vandana, etc. You start knowing everything. How Parvati became Parvati, who was she was Sati before, etc., etc. You start knowing the stories. Once you know the stories and you start, no, I want to know more. This is not enough. We are talking about prayers. So now your focus comes to the form of the Lord himself. I have heard the stories enough. I know these stories. I know them by heart. But I am not interested in the story. I am interested in the Lord. That's the next step. The Lord is calling. So we get interested in the Lord. When we get interested in the Lord, we don't want to deviate our attention from the Lord. We want to look at the Lord alone. We don't want to know who his wife is. We don't want to know who his children are. We don't want to know what he did or what he can do. I want to be one with the Lord. And that picture is in front of my eyes. And I am just looking at him and chanting Om Namah Shivaya. Or here, here we are just chanting Om. We are not even chanting Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are not chanting. Too long. Bhagavan says too long. Then are we chanting Om Vishnave? No, too long. Then what? Only Om. Only Om. And as you are chanting Om, slowly, as your mind becomes focused, as your mind becomes single pointed. What does focused and single pointed mean? That from many thoughts, your attention is going on one thought. So before what happened? You are thinking about his stories. Now you are thinking about his form. Now you don't want his form also, because the Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma, his lungi, his dhoti, the one mala, etc. All this is distraction. You want to know, as your mind is becoming more and more devoted, you want to know who the Lord is. Is Lord the body? Or is it the life which is expressing through the form? This is Lord saying, I am not saying it. So Bhagavan says there that he is telling Uddhav, this is the message you give to Vidur. And what is that? He says, tell him that as he keeps doing this exercise, that his attention will automatically, because too much distractions in the body also, armband, wristband, kamarband, mala, Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma, different colors. Dhoti is different color, Angavastra is different color, hair is different color, mukut is different color. Too much. I want to know what is his essence. And the moment his attention, the devotee's attention goes to the essence, automatically his attention will gravitate towards somewhere. And he says, where will it gravitate? It will gravitate to the two eyes, it will gravitate to the two lips, or it will gravitate towards the 2 feet. So as you keep looking, he says, don't look at right eye or left eye. Keep looking at the 2 eyes. Your attention, you will get sucked into the 3rd eye. Don't look at the upper lip or the lower lip. All gods, they don't sit like this. The human beings sit like this. All divine beings, now everyone is watching, they always sit with lips open. Thoda sa lips open rehta hai. Others are opening it now. Lips open. So don't look at upper lip, don't look at lower lip, but look at both. And somewhere while looking in the lips with one in breath, you will be absorbed into him. And the 3rd is the 2 feet. Again, 2 feet, they can never join. Even if you are flat foot, they will never join. There will be some gap between the 2 feet. Keep the attention on the 2 feet, and because what do the feet represent? The feet represent what he stands upon, what are his values, who is he. So here we are going into the essence of the Lord. Who is expressing through this body of the Lord? We want to go and be one with him. I am not satisfied with only Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma. I want to be one with him. Because if I am focused on Gada, then I will be I will go to Vaikuntha. If I am focused on Chakra, I will go to Vaikuntha. If I am focused on the Lord form, I will get the form of the Lord in Vaikuntha. But what do I want? Do I want to be in Vaikuntha, or this is for some people, not everyone. One can be happy by going to Vaikuntha also, or Kailash also. I have gone to Kailash so many times, 9 times now. Just now I came back. I am still intact. I thought I will vanish, but I didn't. See? So when you think of these 3 places, you become one with that Parabrahma Paramatma, who is Nirgun Nirakar, who is formless, attributeless, infinite, homogeneous mass of consciousness. And that and your essential nature that who you are not two. You become one with him. For such people, there is no rebirth. For such people, there is no rebirth. If you go to Vaikuntha also, there is no rebirth. Then you become a instrument in the hands of the Lord. Then He wants to use you to do something in the creation, He will send you to do it. You will not forget who you are. You will always come back to that point. This human birth is the opportunity. This human birth is a blessing. Liberation is possible only in human birth. Prayers with feeling, with surrender can only be done by human beings. No other species can do it. They can do it. Some of them are there. Some exceptions are there. Meaning not species. Some like King Bharat was born as a deer. He remembered his previous life. So he said, "Oh, I don't want to waste my life." So he stopped eating, drinking. He was in the ashram. He listened to the Vedas. He listened to the scriptures, and he was born as a Jada Bharat. Liberation is only possible through human birth. And you are already human, are you or not? Only humans can surrender. Only human beings can offer prayers. So this human birth is not for preparing laddus. It's not for getting married and having family. That will happen. If it is meant to happen, it will happen. But human birth is a window of opportunity to realize, someone said in the beginning, connection, to realize that you and God are one. To realize this. And with that realization, live in this life, whichever way life unfolds. For me, it unfolded as sannyasi. For others, it can be a married life, it can be a single life, it can be whichever way it expresses. But without forgetting who you are. That is the power of prayer. Did I confuse Amma?
Nothing.
With that, so take the blessing. Don't waste your human birth by indulging in the world. If you want to indulge in prayers. I'm not saying that lightly. Don't waste your life. Whatever is meant to come, it will come in your life. Bhagwan comes, even though he is always and everywhere present. See, I am sitting here. I was in Sydney. I'll take one example. I'm in Sydney. Would I have come here? No. She called me. So I came. If I'm sitting here and I'm doing, someone says, Swamiji, the moment someone says Swamiji, I'll say, I become available, isn't it? Correct? Exactly the same way. Prayer is the moment you say, Om Namah Shivaya, Krishna bula mere ko. Who called me? The Bhagwan becomes available. Because he's everywhere. He becomes available not only outside, he becomes available from within also. But you have to call him, man. You have to call him. The more fervently you call him, the more with devotion you call him. And that is the purpose of life. To remember him in and day out of life. And that is the paddhati, that is the system of our Sanatan Dharma, that we do not forget the divinity and yet live in life dynamically. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Just sit quietly for a moment. inside our heart and mind, we should be silent like this. Outside, dynamism. Hari Om.